frames, just look at a way of getting to the windshield wiper position, which is basically pinning one arm. Okay, so I want to pin one arm to the mat, which leaves Carl only one arm to defend, and he's only one hand to defend the choke, or I can attack this arm. So most times when I'm in side control with the crossface underhook, Carl's going to be making frames. He's got his hands in boxing hand position like this. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to kill this right arm, the one that's closest to me, and I want to try and move it out this way and get it under my armpit so that I can pin it with my shin. I can do this with my hand, my knee, or my hip, but I think the best way is to use my hip. But first thing I need to do is create a profile, because if Carl keeps this jammed to this body, sometimes if I turn my hip like this to try and walk it out with my hip, and he's got it really, really tight, it's difficult. So some of you have seen this before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my right hip onto Carl's right hip, see the way his knees pointing up. I'm going to walk his knees so that they're pointing away from me like this. So I'm using my right hip to do that. And when I get his knees pointing this way, there's a little bit of a profile here, so I can use my hip to smear this elbow from his body. Then I win the crossface, and then I bring my left shin in. Okay, so now his arm has went from this position to here, so I've extended it. Okay? You need to keep that tight, so this left hand crossface grabs under the armpit, and I'm putting a lot of pressure this way, so I want to keep it under my armpit. So from here, to pin it with my shin, I'm going to spring my left knee across his bicep here, so I bring my bicep, or my shin over his bicep, and then I'm going to slide it down to his wrist here, and then I'm going to windshield wiper my foot, so my one that's free is just going to replace my right one here. So I've got my shin over the top of that arm, and the detail is, because it's quite easy for Carl to pull that arm out if he can look at his arm. But what I want to do is I'm going to use my crossface, my shoulder, to turn him this way, okay, which makes it a lot more harder. Try to pull your hand out now. It's a lot more difficult when I get him looking the other way. But from my crossface underhook, from this position, it's difficult for me to attack this arm because I need my left arm. So I'm going to replace this shoulder. See the shoulder that's driving into his neck? I'm going to replace it. I'm going to have my lat. Okay? So this part of my body is going to drive into his face, which frees up this arm. It's going to come all the way underneath to win the underhook. So I've got my shin across his bicep. I'm sprawled on my toe. So if Carl moves, I can move with him. Okay, so from here, I have 3 attacks on this arm. So a lot of the time he's going to have this in your throat anyway. So when I control it with my arm, my right one comes down, clear it, thumbless grip, monkey grip. So from here I have the kimura. So I'm pinning this to the mat, sorry, and I'm lifting my elbow. Okay, he's no arms to tap with, so he's just going to use his foot to tap on the mat. Okay, sometimes a reaction is he'll straighten his arm to try and escape. If he does, I keep the same grips. I rotate the wrist so his thumb is up, and now I can just push down to get the tap. Another thing he can do is he can bring his arm this way to create a bend. If he does, I keep the control with my right hand, and my left grabs the wrist. Right comes underneath. Put my forehead on my wrist, and I drag it back, and then I lift it up. So that's our 3 attacks from there. Let's look at that again. So, from side control, most people will have their hands in boxing hand position. They'll be making frames. Okay? So for me to get this elbow away from his body, I'm going to drop my right hip onto his right hip. I'm going to walk to get his knees pointing away from me. Now I'm going to use my hip, so I just scrape it in at the elbow, and then I bring my left knee up to his face. So I'm in this side control position, but I've got his arm under my armpit. I have the cross face, and I have the underhook, okay, here and here. So that same knee, okay, I'm going to slide it in. First of all, my shin comes across the bicep, and then I create the space for my other foot to come in the windshield wiper by sliding it down, okay. I'll be saying super snug at this when I do this, but just so you guys can see, I'll elevate a little bit, but in reality when you're doing it, you're here. Okay, he can't see anything, and it becomes a feel thing. So as I slide my shin down his forearm, this free foot, just windshield wipers across so it pins the bicep. And then I sprawl out and I'm on my toe. Okay, and I turn Carl so he's looking away from me. So when you're drilling this, guys, your partner should be trying to escape that arm. Okay, you need to have that ability, or none of these attacks is going to work unless you can pin that arm. So now I want to free up my left hand so I can attack this. So I need to make sure I keep him pointing that way. So I take out this arm and bring it across this side, so it comes from in front of his face to behind, and I drop my lat. That's the detail. Anywhere between my chest and my hip. So I've got Carl looking that way. It's uncomfortable. And again, most likely this arm's going to be probably driving into my throat to create space. So as my left controls, my right comes down, monkey grip, I push it down, get wrist control, thumbless grip, push it to the mat, and then from here I lift my elbow up. Okay, as I keep pressure here. Sometimes you'll straighten, I keep the same grip, and I'll rotate my wrist so his thumb's pointing up. Okay, and then from there, straighten. Or another action is he'll bring his arm all the way through. If that's the case, my left lets go, my right still controls. I grab the wrist, again a thumbless grip, comes underneath, and from here, put my head on his wrist, drag it back as I lift. So, one more time on that. There's a lot of details there. Side control. Okay, kill the arm by dropping my hip, walking his legs, making sure my knee comes in tight. Okay, so from that position, same shin, same knee comes in high. Goes in the bicep, swims down to the forearm, windshield wiper, making sure the detail is, make him look away. Then I replace that, so I take my left forearm from in front of his face to behind, and I drop my lat, so he's looking away. Right hand clears, push it to the mat, lift my elbow, he straightens, make sure I rotate so the thumb is up, and then I straighten. Or he brings his arm around. I still control it with my right, my left's free, grab the wrist, thumbless grip, not like that, because if I grab like that, just straighten your arm, I've lost it, so it's like that. Okay, so if he tries to straighten, I can come with him. Sometimes I'll go back to this one again. As this one pins it to the mat, this one comes under, thumbless grip, grab my own wrist, head of my wrist, drag it back, lift the elbow. So that's our first attack, guys. Okay, let's drill for 5.